Hi there, it's Diane here from Limits Gone Again. We have a really amazing day in Melbourne today, which is fantastic because I know that winter is fast approaching and summer hasn't really been here yet. My message for today is really about how much is too much for you. So, how much money is too much money for you in your mind? Do you limit the amount of money that you earn through your beliefs and your values? Or are you open to earning a surmountable amount of money if that was possible? So if you're earning $3,000 a month, does that sound unrealistic or does that sound realistic? And if you were given the opportunity to earn $8,000 a month, would you find that uncomfortable and unrealistic to achieve, or would you feel happy earning that? What do you think your value is? Do you live on a day-to-day basis of paycheck to paycheck, or do you have money to actually save and spend on your family at will? A lot of our situations are depending on how we've been raised and the kind of negative phrases we've heard in our upbringing that we've taken to believe to be factual when they're realistically they're not. What I mean by this is, if you sort of lower to middle income earning parents, you probably would never have had much money to spend willingly, freely on things that maybe one or two of your other friends could afford to do. So when you did get money, you felt, powerful because you had the money, and all you wanted to do was to be able to go out there and spend it and buy something. You never thought to save it because you never knew when you're going to have money again. So that desire inside was to go out and actually buy something with the money that you had got. And the other side of the negative upbringings is listening to your parents talk. Someone might ask them how the day had been, and it would have been, boring, just another day in the office. That's a negative response. Or, you know how it goes, just making it day-to-day, paycheck to paycheck, nothing much exciting happening. That is another form of negative beliefs. And those, if your children hearing that, you grow up believing that your life is only paycheck to paycheck or boring. And that's not true. You have realities in your mind, I'm sure, and you have belief systems that you can change. So one of the things that we look at in our organization is what they call a financial thermostat. So say, for example, if I set the background for you and I say that all your bills are paid, every single one of them, and I give you $500 and tell you to go out today and spend it on yourself, would you be comfortable spending that $500 today on yourself, or would you feel uncomfortable? Would you even know what you wanted to buy for that $500? Say, for example, I decided I gave you $1,000 and said you've got 2 hours to spend it. Would you know what to spend it on? Or I decided to give you $5,000 and said you've got 5 days to spend it. Would you be able to spend it and still feel comfortable? And if I go to the other extreme and I give you $30,000 and I tell you you've got 2 weeks to spend it in, would you know what you wanted to buy with that money, and would you still feel comfortable? Or would you not know what to spend it on? So if we go back to limiting our income, that's a sort of guide that says, so if you hit the 5,000 in 5 days, you can spend it. Or if you hit 10,000 in a week, you can spend it. But when I give you 30,000 and 2 weeks to spend it in, maybe you can't picture what you can do with that kind of money, then that's where your limit is 30,000 as your income of free money. I don't mean free, but available cash. Another one is looking at how much money you have in your bank account every month. You know, maybe you earn a couple of $100 a month, and you're always going into negative amounts at the end of the month, which means you're not financially coping. Or you could be earning a couple of $1,000s a month, and then at the end of the month you've always got, say, $800 in your account, but you never add to it. It always just this balance of $800. You know, life throws things at us, such as tragedies. I know for myself, in the last 2 years, my son's had 3 operations on his jaw. But I was financially in a position to be able to cope and deal with that and come out the other end. Now, if life threw something like that at you, a tragedy where you had to finance an operation, would you have the money to do that and still come out the other end? Or how long would it take you to get back to where you are today if you didn't? So those are the kind of things that I want you to start thinking about, is how you've positioned yourself from your beliefs and your values to where you are today financially. And there's a saying that goes, in order to have more and become more, you have to look at your visions and your values, and you have to forget about the negative beliefs that you've been raised with. Forget about the negative values that you had as a child listening to your parents. And I talk there about where you'll never be anything better than maybe living from paycheck to paycheck. You need to get past that. You need to leave that behind. It's like a negative file. Put it somewhere and forget about it, and start thinking, go back to our financial thermostat that I took you through, as to, if I gave you cash after all your bills were paid, what would you do with that? That's where you need to start thinking, is that you can actually have that free money or extra money. There's a saying that goes, time and money are congruent. If you had more money, you'd have more time. And what I mean by that is, if you had more time on your hands, you could maybe invest a few more hours to generate some more money. And if you had more money in your bank, you'd have more time to do the things that you wanted to do. So time goes with money, and money goes with time. Keeping in mind that, you need to love people and use your money, and not use people and love money. And this is where you need to look at it as to how are you too involved in what you're doing to try and get your paycheck to pay your bill. If so, you need to do something to change that. And part of what we do, or I did it about 10 months ago. I've been at home, and what I've done is really start an online business, which is, incorporating that with my time and my money has allowed me to have more freedom to generate time with my family and my own beliefs and my own values, and to invest in myself. But it's also allowed me to start earning more than I was earning previously. So just keep that in mind. Are you limiting yourself with your income from your past beliefs? Or are you open to looking at ways of increasing your finance to get yourself into a better situation? I hope you've enjoyed both the video, and hope you can read my blog as well. So yes, how much is too much? We started with that, so we'll end with that. Thanks again, Diane from Limits Gone. Bye.